Yo, what's up? This is JERMZ, your boy JERMZ from JERMZ Boxing, aka JERMZ the Boxing Prophet. I came at you out of nowhere because I just wanted to let you know what I thought about the fight that just happened. Rigondeaux versus Nonito Donaire. Yeah, I was on the fence again with this one. I was like between a rock and a hard place. I wasn't really sure who I was gonna pick, and then I went with the experience of the spotlight. Donaire. I just picked Donaire because of the experience, obviously, but I was 50-50 with both of them. What had happened was that Rigondeaux showed us exactly why he went 400 fights, and as amateur 400 fights, and won like 388 of them. Him winning that amount of fights in like, that's almost like, well, I'm not really good in percentage, decimal, whatever, but that's goddamn near 7 out of 10, that's ridiculous. So now we understand who Rigondeaux is. I mean, I always understood who he was, but it was always been a little hard to measure his skill, considering the opposition that he faced and the speed and his heart. Only 10 fights prior. It wasn't enough to actually. It wasn't enough to calculate, such a prediction, So that's why I was kind of half and half. But I did understand what I was going up against when I was making a prediction against Rigondeaux. However, I never seen I never thought about this, but Nonito Donaire, every fighter that he's been up against, every Mexican fighter, all the fighters he's never went up against a fighter that actually had the counter punching abilities and the speed abilities like Nonito Donaire did. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little hard to kind of like to calculate it. Okay, so now that we see that Rigondeaux made Nonito Donaire throw his game plan out of the window. He made him throw his game plan out of the window, forcing Nonito Donaire to chase him. He turned Nonito Donaire from a counterpuncher into a stalking slugger. From a counterpuncher to a stalking slugger. Oh crap! Let me put this thing up. But anyways, which means that he got into Nonito Donaire's head. Now, with that being said, El Chacal somehow forcefully, violently forced himself into the top pound for pound listing. So you got Mayweather, which is obviously on top. You got, well, I used to put Pacquiao in there, so we'll just say Pacquiao number 3, Juan Manuel Marquez would be number 2. Nonito Donaire was number 3 or 4. Nonito Donaire was up there. Rigondeaux made Nonito Donaire look like a top 50. Rigondeaux looked like he was the top 4, top 3. So where does that put him? He's got to go in there and at least number 10. So where does that put Nonito? It can't be above him. Nonito didn't fight like he was above El Chacal. Right as soon as round 1 happened, it made this evenly matched fight. It turned it into a mismatch like that. First round, I was expecting and the only mistake, you see, the thing is, you can't take a lot away from Nonito Donaire, because it's not like Nonito Donaire was fighting like a bum. Yeah, I know that he was, doing the whole left shoulder injury, whatever thing, but he wasn't trying to take anything away from Guillermo, because Nonito did have some moments, and the one mistake that Guillermo actually did was he got caught. And he came back and he dominated even more, battering Nonito Donaire, welting him, belting him. It was a moment where he hit Nonito so hard, I think he even cracked his cheekbone. Nonito Donaire was fighting, holding his face, like trying to jab while holding his cheekbone. Okay, so what, baby? What? Oh, go with that, baby. Go with mom. So now. So when you see Nonito Donaire's face, you can know that he was in a fight. Not in a fight, but it looks like he got knocked out. I mean, he had bruises, he had hickeys all over his face. Who has hickeys on his face without somebody sucking on your face? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it looked like he was beaten up by bats. And that's just solid single shot counter punches. When Nonito Donaire would counter Chicano would counter him 3 times as fast. I never thought that I would see somebody faster than Donaire, making Donaire look like he was Darchinian. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. No, and Chacal, to me, he's a star. You know, because we can call Floyd Mayweather a star because he's got potential money fights. Now you see, Chacal is almost like Mayweather. You know, defensively, I would say he's a little sharper than Mayweather. Mayweather gets hit a little more than this guy does, you know? I would say that if he actually goes up against any of the top guys, like Mayweather, he'll give Mayweather some trouble. I think he can even, I mean Pacquiao. I mean, it's a little not fucked up to say, yeah, he can box Pacquiao now, considering what Manuel did to him, you know. But if he goes up against, like, you know, Juan Manuel Marquez, I would like to see a chess match like that. I would like to see how Marquez can decipher Rigondeaux. I know it's like way low in the class. Okay, my bad. The battery's dying, so I'm just gonna cut it up short. I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the Rio of Bam Bam and Alvarado, but I'll just get you that one when I do the prediction. So yeah, I couldn't believe that either. You know, that fight was a lot better than the first fight, and they both. You know what? I'll just hit you up later on with that fight. Alright, so this is JERMZ Boxing. Go to my Facebook, facebook.com/JERMZBoxing. You know, barely got any friends there. I don't give a shit because I ain't pushing it. I just talk boxing because I love it. But yeah, Rigondeaux, I told you that motherfucker's the shit, right? But I mean, I got my prediction wrong. But you know what? That's why I love boxing, because I love surprises. I love underdogs. You know, to me, that was an underdog.